everybody. It's a Thursday night, and we excited. You tuned in to Ms.V and the crew. We only have one of the crew tonight. We sure had it, but I just believe that we gonna handle it.
That's right.
I looked at it and I thought about it. I said, usually I tell them they grown, they can speak for themselves, but tonight I'm gonna talk about the woman that's sitting next to me, who hosts with me, talk to me, and honors me, love me, and that's my co-host, Miss Bubbly. You call her.
Bubbly
You
brown
call her
sugar.
sugar. She all of that wrapped up into a nutshell. You can't get nobody no better than that. She's sitting there with me. Temperance, unfortunately, couldn't be here today, but she's doing some celebrating. It's good when you can be off and you celebrating. She's celebrating her son's birthday. And we just told her, you know what, do the celebration and we'll fill in and hold it down.
Yeah.
We here tonight. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. And come on in. And just tune in
the room. No, I gotta say it. Come on in the room.
I know. We gonna just let you loose one day, and let you go on handle yourself.
That's it. That's all I got.
I'm gonna let you just do your thing.
That's all I got.
I figured one night we ought to have is everybody be thinking that that because Tammy, Torn, and Cynthia all of them can sing. They obviously think the mama can sing too.
You can sing.
No.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna even put myself in that line, but I will say I'm gonna get me in some. Yeah, I don't care if I can sing or not. Because at the end of the day, all these people that can sing, they ain't out here on the Motown either. So they ain't doing no more than me. So I figure that it's as good as they doing, I can do me too.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, ain't no need to. You say you can't sing, trust me.
Honey,
everybody ought to have a song in their spirit, and I got me a couple of them.
You do.
Tucked down in there.
I'm trying to learn some. I got karaoke and everything at home.
I know.
I'm trying to learn something.
And the kids always tell me, just, well, Mama, you know what? Don't sing. And they be doing that cut and all that stuff. Don't cut me. Because when you cut me, baby, I'm finna do 2 verses instead of 1. Don't be trying to tell me don't sing. I already know. I didn't come this far. And sometime it was a song that brought me through. And now all of a sudden I'm gonna stop singing because somebody don't like it. Oh well. I got my song, honey. I ought to do it.
Do it.
Not tonight.
Do it.
Before we start anything, because we've been hit, and it's one thing I've learned about, even though we live in a society and a world where people are mean and cruel, when it comes to it, people do know how to come together. And we've been hit with the New Orleans and even in Los Angeles with the fires. And I just thought that for just a couple of seconds, we don't have to do it that long, but we just be quiet and just meditate on that moment and lift those peoples and lift those families up in prayer that is involved in those situations right now.
Yes,
in the name of Jesus.
In the name of Jesus.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate it. I thought about that, and I even thought in a deeper sense, because I listened to a couple of the peoples that had children that passed in the New Orleans, and a couple of them, I know 2 of them for sure, said they told their child not to go. And one of the girls, one of the mothers said, I said, don't go. And the father said, he told his son, he said, son, don't go, it's bad out there. And he said, his son said, Daddy, I'm going to be all right. And he said, don't go. I just don't go. He said, don't worry, Daddy. I'm going to be okay. And how many times as we talk to our children and we try to tell them, and we tell them from a perspective, because sometimes we get an insight and a foresight and we just trying to speak to them and tell them, don't do it. And there's something happened in a worse way. And these people, and I'm going to tell you, to lose the child, I haven't did that. And I don't want to even be put in the shoes of a person that has. And I know it's nothing like the love and the loss of a child. I pray for those peoples, and I pray for even the ones in California that's dealing in these devastating times. But I've seen all over the world where peoples are contributing, donating, supplying whatever they need. And even when it came to the tornadoes, and I saw how the people was rallying, just coming and stand, I'm gonna help, I'm gonna fix food, I'm gonna bring you water. It's even though we see all of the worst and all the bad stuff that goes on, it's some good.
It's some good.
And what I say, and I say it once, and then I'm gonna get started. That sometimes what we do, and I do it, we'll see 10 doors that's sitting wide open, but there'll be one door that's closed. And we will concentrate so hard on the door that's closed that we won't see the 10 that's open. And every now and then, sometimes you need to do and broaden your perspective and stop saying, you know what? I got somebody over here saying, I want you. I need you. I'm pulling at you. But you will hold on to this one that say, you ain't nothing. You ain't never going to be nothing. You ain't it. And you will find yourself locked in on that one door and don't see the 15 or 10 that's open. I do it. And I just pray that every now and then that you come to yourself. Because every now and then you get to a point where you get locked in and you get lost. But every now and then come to yourself and just shake yourself. I got somebody over here saying, I am what they need. I got somebody saying, I want Ms.V tonight.
That's right.
And I'm locked in on somebody saying, I don't want you. And I got some that said, bring it on. I need it. That's what I'm telling you. Sometimes you just have to know that regardless on what it look like, somebody needs you. And you have to be in a position and be postured so that you can be able to say, I got you. Yeah. You got Ms.V tonight.
And we love it. We love having Ms.V.
You always said I'm going to just give you all these questions and stuff, but I may forget you here tonight, one.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. Ms.V was gone the last time, so she back with a blast. And that's all right. I love it.
I know I said the one thing I want to start, and I want to break us in on that, because I found that so many people will see everything good in somebody else, and they would rarely see the thing that's good in themselves.
That's me. That was
me. My God. Because I thought about it, and I was talking to a few ladies at work, and I said, how many times I can ask you, and I'm asking you tonight, Wanda, if you had that one quality, because everybody got at least one. Some people have 2, some people have 5 talents, and they know that there's something that they will do, even if they have to do it for free, because it's in them and it's their passion. And you know that it's something that you gifted to do, and you do it. What is it?
Well, I would say writing, but my as I think about it now, it's helping. I help somebody for free. I give up my last dime. I walk a mile for somebody I don't even know. I think one of my talents is helping. I'm a good helper. And I love to help people. I love to bring a smile to somebody's face, or joy to their heart, or just say something out the blue, just to lift up a spirit. So if I had to say I had a talent, I would say I had a helping talent.
Wow, that's beautiful. I was talking with a young lady, and I said that ain't nothing wrong with you saying something about you good. Right. Because sometimes somebody, you say, oh, that's conceited and that's arrogant. No, that's confidence. That's confidence.
I often think about that song that you sing all the time, too close to the mirror to see what you see in me. Sometimes we standing too close to see what others see in us. We at that mirror and we looking at what's on the outside, our shape. Oh, I ain't lost weight this way. But what's on the inside? What's in your heart? What do your mind say? A lot of times we forget. And that song plays in my head, actually. Too close to the mirror to see what you see. And while you're showering down blessings on me, however it go, but we stand too close. Sometimes we got to stand back for the mirror and see the whole picture. Exactly. We standing close and we just see those little outlines, those shapes, and the things that we don't have, the things that we don't do. But if you step back, you can see the whole picture, and you can see what other people see in you. Amen. Step back.
I like step back. Step back. I like that. And you know what? In this, we gonna do a little bit of that at the end. But and I thought about that even with myself as I was thinking of it when I was talking to the young ladies. And I said, I know a lot of people may disagree with me that know me, but I think the one thing that I could say, and I'll make no apologies for it, is I'm faithful. It's a lot of things that I tell everybody I'm longevity. I've been working at the job for over 30 years. I've been working. I've been staying at the same house for just all my life. Same block all my life. Same building for 30, 40 years. And I said, and at the church for over 60 years. So I found out that I'm faithful. And if I tell you that I'm going to do something, I try to make sure that it's done. I'm going to be faithful. I ain't been perfect. Didn't dot every I, and I definitely didn't cross T's. But I guarantee you, I've been faithful to my husband, faithful to my children, faithful to my family. I want to be faithful. And if you ever get to a point and you look up and you look around and you want to see somebody, I want to be the one standing there. It's a mean world to live in all by yourself. It's good that you can look around and see somebody standing there. Even if I don't say nothing, even if don't nobody even, I want you to say, I saw her there.
I saw her.
She was there. And I want that. And that's what I try to. My kids say, Mama go to everybody's funeral. That is not true. I don't go to everybody's funeral. But But I tells them, I said, do you know, I don't have to say nothing, and most time I do. But I don't have to say nothing, but I want to know that when they look up, they can see somebody standing there. Somebody is there for you. Somebody is holding you. Somebody is praying for you. Somebody is motivating. And somebody is in your corner and you're not in it alone.
That's right.
With this new year coming in, I wonder, did you make any resolutions? Everybody make these New Year resolutions and all of that stuff. And I figure you made 2 or 3.
You know what? I actually don't make resolutions because I don't want to lie to myself. I really don't. But what I have thought about is putting me first. Not saying that everybody else is beneath me, but I have to, like we talking about looking in the mirror, I have to start saying, because health issues and stress and all that stuff, worrying and stuff, I had to stop saying, look, I can believe God for you, and I can believe God for you, and I can help you change this, and I can encourage you. It's time for me to start encouraging myself and following those things that I know that I want to do in my heart. It's time for me to start walking and living. It's too many people falling down all around me, and I'm still standing in the same spot. No, it's time for me to move up and move around. So I decided to do those things that I haven't done before, and do what is in my heart to do, to venture out and do things. Do you know all these years, and I'm only like a little under something.
You can tell it.
But I never had a passport.
Okay.
Some little simple things like that means a lot, because I'll take my last dollar and give it away and don't think about myself. So it's time for me to start thinking about me. And then if I think about me and make myself, I'm already happy, but be content with the things I do, it'll shine out to somebody else. And I'll still be a giver, I'll still be a helper. But this year I just said, I'm gonna think more about me this year.
Really?
Yeah, I'm thinking about myself a lot this year.
I like that. Because most of the time I told you, we'll see everything, all the inspirations in somebody else, and we won't see none in ourselves.
None.
So every now and then you have to, because even when you're happy, people's around you will feed off of that. You know what I'm saying? They'll feed off your happiness, feed off your joy, and you need it. And it's like nobody wants to be around nobody that's moping and miserable. You be around somebody that's full of life, full of joy. It's contagious.
It is.
It's contagious. So I applaud you. Do that. Do you? I don't make resolutions either. I said, because if whatever you're going to do, I even tell my family that whatever you're going to do it. Mm-hmm. Don't even wait for birthdays to give me a gift. If you're going to give me one, give it to me. Don't wait for Mother Days. Give it to me whenever you say I'm going to give you something, give it. Don't wait for nothing in that days. I'm not taking anything from those days. They all good to inspire. And everybody ought to have some days that they set aside for some special things, but don't wait for no special thing. No. Just do what you're going to do. When you decide to quit smoking, do it. When you decide to quit drinking, do it. When you decide to get you on a diet and stuff, I said I would, not a resolution. But I gotta do a little workout. I gotta start a little workout somewhere. I gotta do a little workout somewhere.
I'm doing that too, but I'm doing it at my pace, because if I get up, jump up on New Year's, say, I'm dieting and I'm working out and all that, and then by the time March or February comes, I'm tired. I'm tired.
And,
It's
and
a
when you
short
get to
lived.
working, now you got to go eat. I mean, that don't make no sense.
So I'm not doing that, but I am just like I said. If I'm thinking about me, I'm gonna cut back some things because I know that's not good for me. However, I can't put a label on it.
Right. I agree. They said this thing, and I was hearing this the other day that you have. I thought about it. You know how you got the home improvement, and they said home improvement. I said, well, what if somebody said you get a home improvement book for your mind and a home improvement book for your body? Which one would you get?
My mind. Because if I get my mind right, my body gonna follow. I gotta get that mind.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I'm working on the mind, and let the other people work at the body. Yeah. They say you watching your weight. No, I let other folks watch it. I ain't got time to be watching all that. I'm just working on the mind.
Yeah.
I have seen where even my mom and my dad, I've seen where the mental and all of those things that works with your mind, and how it takes that person that and you love, and it's not them anymore.
Yes.
And you say, if I can keep anything, Lord, fix my mind so I can have keep my mind. And he said, you can keep it if you stayed on him. So it brings me to one of my topics.
What my cousin says, he said he came to the conclusion as well that he have to think more about himself, except his wife, and they like this. He said, but other than that, he had to think more about himself because they drained him in 2024. I don't blame you, cuz you do that. It'll help and it'll give you that strength and power you need.
That's true. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's too many times we fixing everybody else, and when we're messed up ourselves.
Yeah,
I can't fix nobody. I'm falling down. I was talking. I was talking to somebody, and I was telling them about all those sayings. That one day we're gonna do that, because I want us to talk about some of those old sayings those people said back in the day, and what they meant, and and how do you related to it. Like when they said, I'm full as a tick. And I said, I know what that meant, but I bet you young people don't know what it means.
I'm young, full as a tick. The tick that's in need a little blood.
Yeah, so one day we're gonna do that. We're gonna be, just what I'm saying? Because those old peoples back in the day, they said things and they didn't have all of the
Brothers, I'm full as a tick, y'all.
Yeah,
she didn't tell me still.
Yeah,
y'all help me out over here.
I know. And I'm telling you some stuff. I was thinking about that. You like use your head for more than the head rack. I mean, and so it's just some stuff that they said, and you said, what I mean. And now, if you ain't speaking right, talking right, ain't called, you ain't called, I called one name. Oh, that ain't none of my name. But you know who I'm talking to. Regardless of what name I call you.
They got no name.
Yeah. You know my name. When I'm looking at you, you think, I don't care what name I say. You know who I'm talking to. So those older peoples, they didn't have education, and they had very little money or had no money. But that's one thing about them. They knew how to get their point across.
Yes.
They knew how to relate. They knew how to talk to you in a language that you could understand.
You understand. Or they knew how to use their body language. Their eyes. You look at your mom or your daddy give you the eye, to get up and get the movie.
Yeah.
No words have to be said.
Yeah.
So they know how to do all of that stuff.
I love it. So it's a lot of little sayings that we're gonna bring back and we're gonna talk about on the podcast. One of the topics that we're gonna talk about is maybe I should do the Thirsty Thursday. Which one? The topics of Thirsty Thursday.
Whatever you want.
Which one? No, tell me. Which one we should do first?
You got Thirsty Thursday ready?
Yeah.
Go ahead with it. Go ahead.
Well,
I don't know.
I'm saying this now because so it can be a point. I want Wanda to come up with some writings and stuff for February, because she's good. That is one of her gifts she has, is writing and poetry and different things. And in February, we're going to be celebrating not only Heart Month, and we're going to be celebrating Black History Month. And you should come up with readings, and that will be our
See
Thirsty
how she put me on
Thursdays.
the spot, y'all. Just throw it out there. she just put me on the spot.
But I'm saying we got, because in February you're dealing with a heart, healthy heart, and then you're dealing with Black history. So having some meaningful readings, and to exercise your gift in front of the public, in front of girl, we finna go national. Girl, we finna blow up. So you gonna never know. People gonna have you writing books. So come on, baby. Hey, speak that thing. Claim it. So you gonna do that in February. We're gonna think. I just thought about it. It just came across my mind. But Thirsty Thursday, and I came today, and the reason I guess I talk so much because I'm thirsty. I've been needing this. I've been wanting an outlet. I've been wanting somebody to talk to, and I got you today. So my Thirsty Thursday is not really anything you got to puzzle about or think about. I'm gonna tell you all about it. I heard this from a man, and I'm gonna tell you, I don't most of this stuff. I ain't smart enough to think of this stuff myself. This stuff come from somebody. Yeah, I ain't that smart.
Helen said, "Hey, cutie, go ahead."
There was a man, and this lady, she joined a a ham baking contest. So she had to bake a ham, and baking a ham, she won. And when she won, the judge came to her and said, this was a really good ham, but we curious to wonder why you cut off both sides of the ham. And so the lady said, you know what? I don't even know. My mama did it, and I just followed suit. He said, well, we're going to go ask your mama. She's sitting in the audience. They went to the audience. They said, Mother, your daughter won the ham baking contest, and we just want to know why she cut off the two sides of the ham. She said, you know what? My mama did it. I don't know why my mama did it. Where your mama at? They said, well, she is in the nursing home, but in the senior living, but we can go visit her. And he said, yeah, we're gonna go visit, because now our curiosity is really want to know. They got to the senior home and they said, Mother, your granddaughter won a ham baking contest. She baked this ham. It was so beautiful, tastes so good, but she cut off the sides of the ham on both sides. And we want to know why she did it, because she said her mama did it and her mama said her mama did it. So we want to know why you did it. She said, well, the pan I had was too small and I had to cut them off. The moral of that story is we ought to have a bigger pan. You shouldn't have to cut the pan up, because after that generation, your pan should have gotten bigger. And after that generation, your pan should have gotten bigger. And after that generation, because you're standing on each one of them's shoulder. So each shoulder ought to have a bigger pan. Get a bigger pan.
That sounds good.
Every pan ought to get bigger with every generation. Your generation ought not be as small. And you think you know everything. You think you got it all together. Can't nobody tell you nothing. So your pie or your ham, it ought to be bigger. And it ought to have a bigger pan.
It ought to fit, right?
Come on. Come on. You ought to be working with a bigger pan. And sometimes I get excited and have to catch myself, because I tell you, if I go there, I can't come back, right? So I just try to stay there. But it's a meaningful situation, because every generation you're supposed to be you're supposed to gain from it, because we got something that the next generation didn't have, and the next generation didn't have. And so now what you're doing is you're gonna get a bigger pan, so that you can be able to hold more, you will be able to sustain more, and you will be able to not only have a bigger pan, but you can still have the flavor of what your mother gave you, even in a bigger pan. So
that was good.
That's my Thirsty Thursday.
That was good.
I wanted to say that because I would just, how you just ancient. I just got that. Let me hurry up and get it out. So I just wanted to hurry up and get that out there and put it out in the atmosphere, because I know some of you out there got some seniors and some grandmothers and some great grands, and they've given you something, and you ought not lose what they've given you.
And I wanted to reflect back one little bit about to the young people that's listening to us when you said that the mothers and the fathers told the young people in New Orleans not to go and everything. A lot of times we get so that we don't want to listen to our parents, and I've done it too because I remember my mom told me. Not to go to a party, and I regret it to this day. Not because something happened to me, because she came in the party on me and got me. So I regret it to this day. However, we do things out of love, and parents do things out of love, and then peer pressure is hard out there, and we want to be on the in crowd. But I just want to encourage you: listen to your parents, listen to them, and when you get to this age, you'll start remembering. My mama said this, and she was showing up right. My daddy said that, and I should have listened. A lot of times, we can save ourselves so much pain, so much heartache, so much trouble if we just listen. Listen, and that's why I want to encourage you, young folks. Listen.
Amen. We needed that, and I'm glad you put that in there because, they said there was a 100-year-old something. My uncle, he died at 108, and when he died, he wasn't even really sick. It's just that I think he had just got tired. And when all of your children is gone, your wife is gone, and you find yourself what now? And so, and I would go visit him many times, and he was like, "Take me with you." And I'm like, "I'm gonna go to Chicago. I can't take you from Mississippi to Chicago." And he would beg me, and I think about him. And he told me one thing that I'm gonna tell you that he sold me, and I still think about it. He said, you gained so much, but you've lost so much." And I said, "What you mean?" He said, "I remember when we didn't have nothing, but we had love." He said, "Now you got everything and you ain't got no love."
Oh, wow.
I said, coming from that back there at 108, he spoke those things, and it's still in fruition.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to say the Thirsty Thursday before I got into
Hey, nephew,
to the conversation. And this is a conversation, and we're gonna take them as far as we can go, and then we're gonna shut it down.
Now, I want to remind you that this is Ms.V in the crew. If you want to chime in and you got something you want to say, please, by all means, you can put it in on live, or you can call us at 708-223-8953. We would love to hear from you. We would love for you to comment. Come on and chime in. Let us not speak by ourselves. Speak with us. Chime in and let us know your thoughts on what we're talking about. We'd love to hear your voice.
I love you got a radio voice. You did. I love to hear your voice. I know you got that radio voice. But yeah, I want you. And honestly, we welcome our conversation. Even we love controversy, not to be mad or but everybody has a voice. Mm-hmm. And that is what's wrong with the life today. There's not a voice in the atmosphere. There's not a voice. Everybody is just trying to follow suit, just trying to keep peace, trying to keep it. But always know that you do have a voice, and you don't have to be rude and mean and evil to speak your part, to disagree. Sometimes people can say, I never thought about it like that. And that's what we are here. We are here to talk and then to share. And maybe you think different, and maybe we can say, yep, we never thought about it like you thought about it. So that's the way you share, and that's the way you grow. And that's the way you can grow without being combative. Because nobody needs to fight about what I believe. That's me. I mean, I got my own mind, my own heart, my own thoughts, and can't nobody think like me. So you ought to have the same idea. Like, can't nobody think like you. So put yours out there. Think. Put your, in any given situation, you ought to have a voice, and you ought to make your voice heard. And honestly, this is the place that you can, because we is a platform that we do spiritual. We do whatever it takes for to get it known. We ain't in no box. Don't put me in no box.
Yeah.
So we here where we can just enjoy life and live life. And we just enjoying it to the fullest. I just come back from Reno, Nevada. I went there with my cousin and enjoyed it. I'm telling you, and I'm thinking I'm half dressed because I'm finna, be sexy. So I didn't take no hot cold clothes. I took all the warm clothes. It was cold there. I done took all these warm clothes and get there. It ain't warm. It's cold. Now I can't even. It shocked me because I wasn't expecting it. I didn't take, how you get, them jogging suits and all that stuff that's warm. I'm trying to be sexy.
You have the belly button out.
I'm trying to be, I'm trying to be pretty. I'm up there trying to do things, in a sexy, turn it up. Don't nobody know me in Reno. I could turn it up and nobody know. Yeah, it was cold in Reno.
You had to turn down for what?
Baby, I had to say, move from the door. I can't sit by the door. Okay, it was cold. I said, I'm thinking there was room there, but it wasn't. It was warm, but I enjoyed myself. I had a good time there. And even Lane, she went on there. They had her on the TV. I said, she was like,
wow.
I said, I said, you stand back there and talk. I'm going to again. But it was really good. And before I can get back from Reno, my daughter was like, come on, get in the car. Girl, I just got in here and I ain't even did nothing. It's not like I can just up and jump and do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now my back been hurting for 2 weeks. You must
have dropped it like it was hot or something.
No, I ain't did all no dropping, but it's but I'm hurting. You know what I'm saying? You just doing all this ripping and running like that and not giving your body, you ain't eating properly because you're too busy. You ain't getting the proper sleep like you should. And then you setting up in these app lines and airports and stuff. After you get up in age and stuff, it's a lot of stuff. Age gonna tell you what to stop doing. And I jumped right on in the car and went to Nashville.
Wow.
So I'm
like, nice.
I'm like, come on now. And everybody, girl, you got it going on. You don't know how painful I'm suffering from doing all that. But it was all in nothing but love. I just enjoyed life that I can remove like that.
You have to enjoy life. Everybody used to say, live today, die tomorrow. No, you live today, die today. So you live today the best way you know how. Yeah. Every single day you need to live and live loud.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm living out loud.
Yeah, that looks like we ain't making no excuses on this. We living. No. And that's exactly what. And I didn't even change words. She didn't even, and she didn't even really ask me. I just thought about that too. She didn't even really ask me. She had said, "Come on, we going to Nashville."
She knew you ain't had nothing else to do.
Yeah, but sometimes you say, "Do you want to, or do you?" Is it all?
But it's too late now. You win. She knew you had nothing else.
Yeah, it was some kind of beautiful. I enjoyed it. So I've been on vacation for 3 weeks. I actually just went back to work this week. Actually yesterday I went back to work. So I've been off and living like I'm 1999. I'm just doing it, enjoying every bit of it. But coming back from Reno, I was in the we had a flight over in Phoenix, and in Phoenix I saw one of the doctors at the hospital, and I said to myself, it's a small world, but it's big. It's a big world, but it's small. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at people, and I stand up, and I'm in the airline in Arizona, and I'm like, Doctor, why are you here? He said, why are you here? So I'm like, you just never know who you gonna see. That's why you have to be mindful of who you is and your character every day.
Your character got to speak for itself in every state and in every language. Exactly. It has to speak for itself.
You just never know. We was over, and I'm throw this in that we was over in Mexico, and we was sitting there.
She been getting around.
I promise you, and I sit there in Mexico, and a young lady came up and she said, "Do y'all remember me? We had just knew you from living on the same block with you. You just never know." I told them everywhere I go, I see somebody. But that brings me to my topic, and we can this might take us out, might just take us in, but just to let you know that I really enjoy life, and I went to many places. I remember when I was in Italy and in Rome, Paris. And
you just Paris, showing out.
I know.
That's what she's doing, y'all. She trying to show me. I just told her I ain't had no passport. Now she trying to talk about all the places she went.
Oh yeah, but you said I got a few years on you, so you still got time.
I got
Come on, and look, I'm telling you these things because even after all these places I've been to, they said Barcelona and walked to where they did it. I done been to Paris and Italy and all of these places and the French Riviera. I've been to all of those places. But after so many times and so long, I want to go home. I don't care where you go. It's nothing like having a home to plant your feet and to plant your grounds, to say, I'm at home.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how raggedy the bed is, but it's mine. I don't care how I got in that raggedy gown and I felt like I was at home. I mean, and then the man of my house and my protector came and met me at the door. I said, "Come on, Max, I'm at home."
A dog.
My dog. So it's just a good thing, and it brings me to the point that when we got off the airline, and we took the blue line, and on the blue line, it was the police was like deep at the top ramp. Everywhere you looked, there was police.
Wow.
When you get down and get on the train, you didn't know, you couldn't even pick a train to get on. There were so many homeless. And I don't know if they homeless or just, I don't know is what it is, but they was all over the train. Every cart, everyone. And I'm sitting there and I'm saying to myself, it's a lot of stuff that we tell a story about. Oh,
How do you feel we tell a story about?
yeah, because we say, oh, if they come in your church, you ought to not move, and you ought to. People's is moving. Because I was on that blue line, and they say, if you feel uncomfortable, move to the next cart. I was like, now how am I going to be walking through this cart, train shaking like a leaf on a tree, and I'm shaking too? No, I can't do it. So I got to sit still. And they're walking through there. You don't know who is walking up on you. You don't know who is sitting next to you. You don't know what nobody has on them. And then they're asking you, is you got something to eat? Is you got a few change? Is you got a few dollars? You don't know. And don't tell me. I don't care what you set up and say, yeah, I'm got it good. No. There need to be a better answer for that. People's on there had just come from their trips. They had their luggage and they different things and stuff.
So what are you saying about the homeless? That they frightened you, or what happened?
I think they make me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it wasn't so bad that I was scared, but I felt uncomfortable. It's like 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. Our plane got in at 1 o'clock. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and we getting on a plane on the blue line. Police was deep on at the top,
but nobody's on the train.
Nobody's walking the train. Nobody is in the carts with you. You are in there, and they are, and it's not like they are sitting still. They're walking and they're roaming, and they're in this. It's like, well, you know what? And Lane, bless her heart, she was so sweet. She said, "Well, Vaughn, they don't have nowhere to go." I said, "They got shelters."
Yeah, but some of them can't make it to a shelter.
They made it to the bus line
because the bus line goes this way and that way.
And
I mean, it's a place to go free, but
how do they get in free?
And how do do you have? Well, that's true too. I don't even know if they get in free. I don't know, but if sometimes you don't have a place to go, so you go to the place that you think. A lot of times when they're homeless like that and they're on the trains and all that stuff, they're just looking for a spot to stay at until the next morning, so the sun come up. So they ain't think, they said freaks come out at night. They didn't know you was gonna be out there that night.
Yeah, because
you coming in their time, and that's their time.
I'm in their territory.
Yeah,
at that time. You ain't got no business coming on this train. Yeah, I'm paying to get on them, and I'm like, and if you think that I'm saying this because I think I'm somebody, no way, no how. I promise you, I could be right in their shoes too. But you know why? Every morning I'm getting up and I'm battling the rain, the heat, the snow, the traffic, the trying to get to somewhere to keep from being like that.
Yeah.
And I ain't saying that I don't know their story. And at some point, I don't know, this was not the place for that. These people are getting off these planes, and I'm in there because we was on there with 4 people that looked like they were stewardess or something, and they had their luggages and then stuff like that. That ain't something you want to see when you
I feel like when you don't want to see them like that, you got to take an Uber. Because that's their safe haven. That's when and then people interrupt them on their safe haven. Somebody probably felt bad one day when them people in Forest Park, them four homeless people just sleep and their life got taken for just because they homeless. And a lot of times, and I'm speaking from experience, a lot of times people become homeless not even because they want to, because they have no other choice. Situations happen in their lives that caused them to be homeless. Thank God that when I was like that, I had a car. You know what I'm saying? But they don't have a car, so they got to go to the best the quickest, warmest place that they know how, and that's the train, because the train gonna keep moving. The train gonna keep going. The train gonna make you feel like you're not alone. You got family because you got other people on here, and and then they don't want to go out there and build those tent houses and those box houses.
No, they shouldn't do that.
Yeah, right. And then some of them got mental issues. They don't even know how to go home. They have been out here so long, and a situation can happen. It takes one situation to happen in your life that can break you. That can break you to your last point. Till you just don't know where to go, how to go, when to do it, and you just all you know is to get on there and ride. And that's freedom. Just riding, just freedom and everything. And so I feel like it's rough I'm not going to encounter every homeless person, because guess what? Some of them mental, some of them just homeless because they off the stuff and things like that. So you don't know what their situation is.
Do you think? Well, these didn't look like they was old, so maybe they don't have some type of financial means and stuff.
Yeah.
But do you think that the system would allow people to be homeless like this, and not give them not one dime?
Yeah, they'll give you a link card. Now you gotta go find somebody to sell it to, because you don't know nobody. I'm sorry, but they do sell it. But you know what I'm saying? They're not gonna give you. They're gonna encourage you to find a job. But
then the systems need to find a better way than have. Even if you're going to be on the blue line, and even if you're going to be on whatever line you're on, they ought to have a designated spot for them to go to.
A whole train.
Yeah, a whole train. Yeah,
a whole train.
I agree with that.
They ought to have, because you got to realize, you got young women. I mean, maybe some even younger than me. That's catching this, and you don't want it, and they move to the next cart. And then you've been on the train, and the chain is rocking and shaking.
But when I was younger, I used to go from cart to cart. But now that on Green Line, I used to go to cart to cart. But now when I'm older, because I can't hold on like that.
You can't hold on like that. And then you got to pull that door, and the wind is pulling the door too. Mm-hmm. I'm like, why would you even ask somebody to go to the? No, if you feeling like that, or you should have
a protection on.
They should have a security.
But it probably be hidden security. You don't know. Sometimes they put those hidden people in the. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Unless they was one of them.
Could be,
but
I just feel like some people don't have a choice. They got shelters, and do you know they turn you away from the shelter if they full? If I'm living down the south side, north side, wherever I'm at, and I don't road train from south side to the north side, because the south side is empty, it's full. Now I'm going to the north side and they full, and you got to get up early in the morning to get out. It's only a certain amount of time.
The system in Chicago needs to devise a plan. If you're gonna tell me we have all of these homeless, we got all these people riding these L's, you've got people and I'm gonna tell you, it is a huge turnoff that when you is trying to go with your luggage, your purses, and all you encounter is somebody is walking through there, and they bent over, and they holding their pants and half dressed, and they asking you for money, and I'm not personally speaking just for me. I'm just speaking in general, because because if one of them had came over there and was talking to me like they was walking past, and they was going to some women's, and they didn't come to me.
Bella said, the system makes it difficult for people to get back out of homelessness. And that's true. They make it difficult. You go and you cry to them I'm telling you, I had 3 babies who was homeless, and I went to them for help, and they gave me this link card or whatever. Okay, so what am I gonna pay rent with?
Exactly.
It's summer. I don't have a job right now, but when I go back, no, you just got to do what you got to do with that and call it a day.
But you know what? And you think about this, and this is not to you or anything like that, but it's, and I guess I don't know, I never had to experience it. But if at some point, is there anybody that you thought enough to say, you know what, I need your hand, I need your help?
Yeah, you can go to people. I had people, and some people did me right, and a lot of them did me wrong. And then it messes with your trust. It messes with you mentally, and it messes with you emotionally. And that's what I'm saying. It can put people in a place where they don't believe they have anybody. Even if somebody is being nice to you, one person just threw you all off because you already going through a situation. So and so being in a situation that you never encountered before, and the people that you thought had your back didn't have your back, and total strangers are the ones that be helping you.
So how do you get yourself out of that? I mean, is this the
You
only thing? Is this the only thing? This is your only answer, to just ride the trains?
No, but that's a start. Not ride the train. They riding the train to get off the cold. You don't know what they doing in the morning. They could have been in the morning trying to beg for help, trying to get a job, down to unemployment, anything. But that night, they got to find a place to go. They got to get a seat on that train before it's taken up. They got to find their spot. You know, if it's just like if you don't get to the shelter at a certain time, you lost your spot. You gotta find your spot. So they getting on there. You came in at that time at 6 o'clock in the morning. They getting off.
Look, you in our spot. You shouldn't be on him. And it's in the sadness of it, and it's very painful.
It is
because
painful.
what's really even more painful is they were all men.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't see not one woman.
Well, they was on the other train.
They was going the other way.
Yeah,
they was on the other train. And when the train it opens up, they begging the people standing out. And I'm like, and that was a police. He was begging. I'm like, and the police ain't saying nothing.
They human. They know these people want some money, need some money. When they get off that train, 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, they're going to need to go to McDonald's or somewhere and buy them a coffee and a roll or something. And they're going to need some money to do that. Because that's another place for them
to start back over
again. And hope that somebody got enough faith or enough money or believe in them enough to say, let me take you and get you a job. Let me take you and clean you up. Let me help you out. It's hard. It's hard. And because it's so many, and because some people are violent, people don't know who to help. It terrifies the ones who want to help, but you still got to have a heart to give. You got to have a heart to help. You got to have compassion. So while you was on that train and you was looking at them, you should have been praying. God,
I was waiting for one of them to come up there to me,
so you could pray for him.
God. Yeah, they came up there, I would have told him, I'm one check from being homeless. He said, you never seen the righteous forsaken, nor a seed begging bread.
That's right.
Now, if you want help and you truly want some help, go to your Bible-believing church and sit there and say, I want some help.
Okay.
Now, how would you tell them? What would you tell them?
You better send them to a hospital or send them to somebody who can give some shelter. You can go to the church. The church gonna take them in on Sunday and put them back out, and you're on the train on Monday,
and then come right back the next Sunday. Let me show you.
How you gonna keep coming?
You can keep coming to the blue line. You can keep getting on the L. Keep coming to places that is.
She ain't never been homeless. She don't know.
Nope. Seriously.
You want to go in a place where they can help you, give you some resources, do something for you. Don't just tell me come back every Sunday. I can sit outside your church every day then. Let me lay my head down.
Do that. I just cannot believe that. I don't believe that.
What y'all think?
I don't believe that a church will see somebody that's serious. Now, I ain't talking about it that's playing. Somebody that, I'm saying, I just want you to give me some few dollars and I'm gone. But I really want some help.
But what if they mental? What if something's going on up here, but they still want the help? They just don't know how to do it.
Okay. And
but you just can't take everybody.
So how do you divide from somebody that really need help and those that's mental? Because there are some peoples out there, they ain't mental.
Right.
Yeah. So how would you decide?
But I wouldn't just send them to a church. I would have
I would tell
find.
them
So I would tell them about a church. Yeah, and that's no problem with that. But you also have to have other resources available, like a
the church will
doctor's
tell
office
them
or even a shelter. Tell them where to go to the shelter.
they know
You
it is.
no, and they all don't know. They don't all have cell phones. Everybody ain't got no cell phone. They all
They
don't know.
if some at some
Do
point
y'all think every
they may
homeless
ain't got no phone.
person know how to get to a shelter or should know how to get the resource, or they should not be on the train at 1 something in the morning?
I ain't saying they shouldn't be on the train. Now that ain't what I'm saying. I'm saying they ought to be train designated for that.
Yeah, I
When
believe
they,
that.
when you put these peoples and you got all these peoples that's coming, and I'm gonna tell you, peoples are riding. You don't want to be getting on a train in fear. You
No,
don't want to be getting on a bus in fear.
that's right.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
you know what? But you're gonna do it anyway because look at all the killings. Look at
I
these young
agree.
people. And you don't
I
got to be
to-
homeless. You can be young.
I totally agree. I totally agree, and that's why I said the same thing that
Yeah.
New Orleans and all of these people's dealing with. We dealing it right now on this in the cities with how we can just shoot somebody or kill somebody. Look at the court cams and all of these young men that's doing life in prison.
Bella also said that we have people all the time showing up at work, looking for resources, and they don't know what to. They don't know who to contact. They don't know who to contact to help them out. So they come up all the time trying to find some way. But how long? There ain't no buses in no park. So how long do it take for them to get there? You see what I'm saying?
Now, and this is what I'm telling you. Everybody has to make a start. And when you start, where the place that's supposed to do it. Now, the resources, maybe, and I'm not saying that all of them gonna do it, but now to come to a church, and I don't know any church or whatever, and you serious about it, the church should not turn you away.
I haven't seen some do
Well,
it.
they shouldn't.
I ain't saying they're right, but I'm saying I've seen. And then if you get out of church,
point you in a direction. They should show you some resources. They should help you if you serious. Not one that coming up like they do with us. Come over there because we read by the expressway. Come in there and say it. I want to see the pastor, and I want you to know if you can give me a few dollars to catch the bus. No, come here.
What about the ones who sit in the service all day? They sat there.
Give them something.
Do you? So if they don't sit there, you don't give them nothing.
You got to hear the word.
Oh, okay. You can't pray for them.
No, because he said, if I give you a fish today, you're going to be hungry tomorrow. But if I teach you how to fish, you will eat for life. So you got to get them you got to give them something that they can not only come back to eat tomorrow, but they can continue to do it. And I'm gonna tell you, I know how it is to struggle. I have worked with trying to raise 3 kids with just $6 an hour. $6.
Yeah,
it's not easy.
It's not.
But when you compile that and you look at how you got there, you can credit and say, when I look back, my soul know how I got there. And if it had not been for me holding on to the ministry, holding on to a church, holding on to somebody saying it's going to get better, hang in there. It's you fight the fight. Stand up, keep fighting, and every day you get a little stronger and you get a little better because all it is a motivational speech.
Tanisha says she agrees. Tanisha says she also seen people turn away. Churches turn people away, and Bella said we have people that show up and wait a minute, I'm sorry, y'all. The system. Well, I did something wrong because I'm trying to read them. She said show up at work in time looking for resources and they don't know who to contact, right? And then she said we have people that takes time out. Yeah, I don't know what I be doing, y'all. The last time I spoke to someone who was on the wait list for a shelter, and they told me they had at least a year and a half to wait for the shelter. So what do they do in that year and a half?
My heart goes out to anybody that don't have somebody. Remember I just told you?
Yeah. But it's a lot of people, like say you the only child and your parents pass or whatever. It's a lot of people that you can know somebody but don't know somebody. I can work with you every day and don't know you. I can go we be in the church where people don't know them.
If I have worked with you and maybe not really close to you, but if I get to that position, if I get that low, that he said, you have not because you ask not. And if I can get that far and get that low and have children's and I can't swallow my pride and I can't I can't bite my ego, it's something wrong with the picture.
But that just brought me back to you just said, that the people come in church, and if they don't sit in the church, because now they're trying to get to the shelter, and they came to the church and they asked for help, and y'all said don't give him none because he didn't sit in church long enough. However, the shelter is about to close. I need this money to get to the shelter.
Church is at 11 o'clock.
I'm just saying.
Shelters ain't gonna close that early.
But I'm just saying.
I'm just saying too, because if you come to these churches, and I ain't saying that all
churches got different times though,
and some of them is at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
and some of them you can come and you can ask for stuff, and they will give you a few dollars. But just like I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to give you a few dollars tomorrow. So in no need of me, you let me give you something. He said, because now let me give you. He said, because even when they was begging, and he told them, I ain't got no money.
Yeah,
but such as I've had, I'll give it to you. And this is what I'm saying. There's so many times when we give people and what they need, and I agree. Sometimes we giving them a sermon when they want a sandwich, but sometimes they need the word.
Oh yeah, I agree. I even agree when you was on that blue line, a word could have went in the atmosphere, because I mean you can quicken some spirits up in there. You can't be sitting there like
I should have went on and just lit in on them.
Yeah. And then they looked at you like you're crazy.
It's almost time for us to quit, and I want to start this because I want this to be.
The last thing Bella said, they have systems that do get people into housing, but there's so little money and an actual shelter available for the numerous people who are unhoused that it multiplies years and years, and it takes time to get there.
And we ain't gonna even get into that, because look how they just housed all these peoples,
and they put them out too.
Yeah,
you see that they done got that money from the government, and let them people come in there for a minute. Now they done threw them out.
Yeah, but they gave it to them.
They did.
They gave it to them. So
sorry, I keep.
That's all right. But and the last thing, and I just wanted to touch on it because we can come back to it. We can circle back because it's already time for us to be wrapping up. But the one thing that I wanted to talk about, because this just blew my mind, because I don't think they had this when I was raising kids, is when the parent can't go in to the doctors with the children's.
Yeah.
12 years old. And you can't.
Yeah, they do that now. They didn't do it when my mom was little.
They didn't do it with me.
Yeah,
I ain't know. When the girl told me that, I was knocked off my feet. How do you, girl? I would have issues, and my answer probably wouldn't even go to the doctor because I would be too mad. How do you using my insurances? These kids has no money. They has nowhere to stay, but you can't tell me I can't go in and see. I can't go in and listen. I can't go in and talk.
They put you out. They said, I don't know why they do it, but they
say it's confidential.
So just in case a parent is touching the kid or they going through something, I guess they gonna ask them all. They ask them all them suicide questions and everything. And yeah, I don't know.
If you haven't saw anything and any reason to, I can see that if you saw he would have broke arm, or I saw if you sent it with something, and something can justify or warrant that. But you're gonna tell me I'm just bringing him there for a regular checkup, and you're gonna tell me, Mama, you got to stay outside.
Yeah, I don't like that either because I don't trust doctors neither.
I was like, then the child need to go get a job and get some insurance.
Tanisha said, she would. You have to have your child to sign a paper, right? Yeah. A sign for you. Yep, they have to sign for you to know anything.
Oh my
and Bella said she'd be uncomfortable too. Yeah, she's saying that you have to sign. The kids got to sign to let you know. That's just like in school. They telling me I owe a fee, but you giving them a car without my consent. And then you take them on the trip because they 17. They don't need my permission, so they can go anywhere they want to go. But I got to pay the fee.
I agree.
It don't make sense to me.
That don't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
I mean, if you're gonna take all of your rights away from you, then you need to take them out of your house. Then you need to pay rent for them. You need to pay gas and lights. You need to be the one that pay their food, and you need to pay insurance. How do you tell me that I'm covering all of this, but I don't have no rights?
You have no rights.
Something wrong with that.
And that's how we mislead our children to make them think they're grown before they time.
Yeah.
It's misleading. It's
Yes.
contradicting what we're teaching them at home, and then the streets and the government is teaching them something else.
Yeah.
You can't put your hands on them because you can go to jail. You can't go in the doctor with them and find out what's going on with them. They grown when they're in high school, and you don't have to sign a permission slip. So the only place they got to be a kid is in your house. Everywhere else they grown.
Amen. I tell you, I enjoyed you guys tonight. I promise you, we've had this conversation, and we're gonna talk about that in some more. But it is what it is. You have Ms.V. I'm your host. I'm sitting there with my crew, Miss Wonder, and I'm gonna tell you, bubbly brown sugar.
Bubbling brown sugar, baby.
She is what she is. No, but one you can't get, but one like that. Well, you can't take two.
Okay, see
you next week.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for participating and watching us.
Come on.
Love your way. Love.